Well, good morning everybody, and it's a big welcome today to Seán Harrison, one of the absolute stalwarts of the club, member of the 1860 Club, current Vice President of the club, and has been associated with the club since 1999. Welcome, Seán.
Good morning, Lee. Morning, everyone.
We're in the Sky Lounge with brand new carpet.
Yeah, brand new carpet. Look, a bit different than the old blue stuff that used to be down, but about time after 40 odd years for a change. So yeah.
Fantastic.
Very good. Very good. Looks all right.
You've got one hell of a journey to talk about, Seán.
Yeah, it's, it's an honour to be sitting here chatting because a lot of the people you've had and interviewed over the last 9 months or so, I'm not sure I'm in the same echelon as a lot of them. So but chatting with you is certainly an honour. So thank you for.
You are. Everyone associated with the club is in that echelon. So you started with the club in 1999 in very unusual circumstances. Darren Oliver recruited you to the club. Yes,
Darren was my boss at NZI Workers' Compensation when NZI was around. Darren was my boss. Went through a few, bit of depression, a few personal sort of issues, and Darren was very good at taking you under his wing and guiding you. And he'd actually said to me, Preston needs some good committee people.
Yep.
He said, "No, I reckon you'd, Harry, I reckon you'd be really, really good at it." So my first introduction was April 1999. Walking into the old social club,
right,
for the very first time, and I've been here ever since.
Right, and got voted on straight away.
Yeah, Well, I came to be assistant secretary, so had to learn that role fairly quickly. And when I was on the, Dick was president, Gus was secretary. Sorry, had Dave Robb, Nakas Murray, Steve Hillam, Flapper. Grobbles was on here on the committee, so it was very much an established committee. So there was a brand new boy on the block, basically. So brand new kid on the block there. So.
Right, fantastic. Yeah. And not long after, you found yourself playing in the fourths. Tell me about your cricket career before 1999.
I don't have a cricket career before 1999. I used to play muck around the backyard with. Occasionally with my brothers, but I'd never played juniors or anything like it. I had no interest in playing sport as a kid. I played basketball at high school. But that was sort of recess and lunchtime. But cricket. Always loved watching cricket. Loved watching footy, but never actually played an official game of cricket. So when I came down to be on committee after a while, when pre-season started, my thought process was, well, if I'm going to be associated, I need to get down to learn about, to get to know people and get to learn to know the club. And after a while, it sort of just got brought into, the nickname of Harry got shortened to H, and all of a sudden the H was you're going to run around with us. I've never played, and come on board, and it was a conversation my mum had with me, and she said, you'll play. Mark my words, you'll be playing. I went, no, not going to happen. I'm not playing cricket. Sure enough, October 1999, I front up for the fourth 11, so under Magoo Robinson. So, so my first game of cricket as a 22-year-old was a fourth 11 subbies game.
Right.
So,
who was in that team from Robbo?
Wow. Dave Robb was captain. Michael Robinson, the Seagull. Mickey Robbie's son was in there. I think Andrew Papadakis might have been in that team at that stage. Tony Purcell, Slammer.
Right.
Slammer was in there.
Quite a few others.
At no time. I was just I was busy trying to learn the game and learn who was who in the zoo, sort of thing. So
first game,
I can't remember.
how many did you get?
None.
None?
I don't even know if Dave bowled me. I tried to, I was still learning how to bowl and holding a bat, and the batting technique still hasn't changed. It's back away and try and slap it. So that hasn't changed in 20 odd years. But I don't know if I bowled at all, but it was just fun to be out there.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
And you're still captain of the Force.
I came back to being captain. I was captain for last season. Before I was president in 2009, I was captain for the Fourth 11 for 3 years, and then I gave that up when I became president of the club. So, and then I hadn't played really sort of on a regular basis since the 13-14 season, probably. I think it was around there, and I'd sort of played in a couple of games here and there when I was needed, and then I thought this year I'd come back for one more run, and just to try and help as much as I possibly could.
Good.
So
it must have been pretty rewarding over the years, introducing in particular a lot of young kids into that team.
It's always nice to see younger blokes who've played fourths and then watching them, whether I was their captain or I wasn't, but watching them, accept the likes of the Brett McLaughlins of the world, was Brett go up, even Mickey Robinson, who fours, threes. He got to threes and he captained the threes for a year or so there from memory. There's a lot of even the sort of the current crop this year, the boys that have made the transition, have played a few games in the threes. They're seeing them push towards playing into threes and twos. Hopefully, they're very much a lot of the boys who are the makings. You can it's just there.
Yeah,
it's just something you sort of learn.
Yeah,
that they'll march forward without an issue. I don't.
Yeah. Is there anyone in particular you think could push through, right through?
I think Dominic Edwards.
Right.
I mean, Dom will be. He proved himself in the T20 Tuesday night game we had out here against. Was it Brunswick? He just knows he bowls a heavy ball. And he hits the deck hard, and he's just got those makings. I think Nick Moylan as well. Those I think I could see those two, pushing their way and into the twos, if not next year, but certainly the year after.
Excellent. Yeah. And looking back playing over that period, what are some of your personal highlights?
I didn't get to play the game because I was unwell actually, but the first Fourth 11 flag that I saw out at Sunshine, watching a mixed group of older blokes like Wacker McLaughlin and Dave Robb, with a crop of younger guys beating a very dominant Sunshine that year, out at Sunshine and picking up the flag in 2001. That was just it was just great to watch them. It was a big, from a couple of years prior when I know chatting with Michael Hayes, and Hayes, he said during the late sort of 90s when he was playing, they may not have won many games in the fourth. So to see the sort of the transition in about 4 years for them suddenly becoming a premiership team was great. The game, I think one of my personal favourite games is probably the semi-final against Melton. Was it 07-08? Melton on a warm one out at McPherson Park. They made 310, and I think Melton were cock-a-hoot that they were just gonna roll through us without a problem. And the joys of being a Preston the train.
It used to be good out in the middle when the bowler was just about to release the ball and the
nothing's changed. I don't know if it'll be any better when they raise it, but anyway. The 07-08 semi against Melton, as I said, they were up and about. They thought they had us on toast, and I saw Ross Abedi, former third 11 premiership captain and vice president in his own right. Ross peeled off 80, Michael Robinson peeled off 100, and young bloke by the name of Josh Thornycroft, who played through into the ones as well. Josh hit 140, made 140. Wow. So I think we won with 2 wickets in hand and 2.5 overs to go. So that was a highlight. We got beaten the next week, but that was the threes won that the next week. So that was sort of the balance.
Yeah.
But that was probably a personal favourite. And then just even this year, being fourth 11 captain and having 3 women play for the club in an official capacity.
Yes.
That was a monstrous. That was a monstrous honour. And then watching 2 of the girls pick up the captains of Hoppers Crossing and Yarraville, that was I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. So yeah.
Fantastic. Are there going to be more women come in to the team, do you think?
I would love to see it.
Yeah.
I would love to see it. I think I think it would. It just brings another dynamic to the game, and I think it's certainly I've seen. It's the first time I've played with girls or women in the Preston team. I know a number of years ago we played at Sunshine, and Sunshine had, I think it was sort of late sort of first decade of the 21st century. We were playing at Sunshine, and Sunshine had their fourth 11. They had a keeper, and she was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And it was sort of just it's just another player on the ground. There was
a competitor.
Well, it was just another competitor. But she was bloody good. So yeah.
Let's circle back to 1999, and you've come into the club, onto the committee as assistant secretary.
Yes.
So who was secretary?
Gus was secretary. Gus was secretary, and when it all at the AGM, Gary Robb took over from Jim Lawrence as treasurer. So we started, Robble's run as he's been treasurer as long as I've been on committee.
Right.
That way. So 22 years now.
Yes.
So Gus was secretary, and Dick was president.
Yeah.
And I think Dave Roll was vice. I think it was Steve Hillen. I can't remember. I'd have to have a look at the annual report.
Yeah. What a group. The mentorship in terms of cricket club administration, you wouldn't get much better, would you?
No. For someone who's never been on a committee, Mum and Dad were involved with school council, and when there used to be the safety house, Mum and Dad were both involved with my school, my primary school, and Dad used to be involved with sporting clubs in the PDJFA years ago. But for me to be on a committee, it was a brand new learning experience. But to have Dick and David and Gus and the range of gentlemen you had on that committee was just awesome.
Yes, yeah.
And to be able to learn and pick stuff up and not just learning, but also the banter and the humour that went with that committee, with the committee meetings. At times, you sort of just especially between Steve Hill and Nackers Murray and Dave Robb, that was always just when the three of them were going at each other. Yeah. It was always and not in any harsh way. No. It was just tongue very much planted firmly in cheek, but it was a lot of fun.
Yes, yeah. The committee's sort of been over a long period of time the custodians of just a wonderful culture that prevails down here.
Yeah.
What's your take on the culture?
I think the culture's evolved and changed over the period, and it's had to. Perceptions have changed, people have changed, how things are done have changed. The relationship with the relationship with cricket administration's changed. It's changed with sponsorship. Sponsorship. We had, I can't really remember, sort of too much talk of sponsors in the day now. You want to be looking after your sponsors, and you want to be you want them on board and assisting the club as much as possible, not necessarily just financially, but just as a presence, like Bendigo Bank and Nelson Alexander. But just to it's had to change, and the boys have changed over the years. The personnel has changed, and it's had to evolve and move. And look, as I can remember, training here at Preston, and you'd walk in the old rooms, and there was a group of players, 3 or 4 players after training, walking. The first thing they do is light up a dart, and you'd sort of go, now,
yes, I'd
be hard pressed to find maybe a couple of boys might smoke now. So even that's just changed over the. They still all enjoy a beer, I know that much, but the smoking is probably one that has changed.
That's a big one.
Yeah, but the attitudes have changed, and I think the standard of cricket has certainly improved.
Yeah.
As well.